Hello and welcome to Shad's Voice, where I usually get a random topic, sometimes from a random topic generator, sometimes from my own mind, sometimes a request, though, or something, in this case, maybe not a request, but maybe an inspired conversation uh, that I had with someone else. And as weird as it is, but it makes you think, and hopefully this will be an interesting one. So the key topic that we have today on this video, human limb regeneration. Obviously less. Yes, it's impossible, maybe right now. Maybe we won't ever have it. But it's probably a weird topic, but think about it, alright? So first off, we have animals that can regenerate their lost limbs after some time. We have octopus who can regenerate their tentacles for any reason, probably bitten off or whatever after time. Starfish can also do it. I think snails are also capable of doing it. Lizards, they can regrow their tails after time. I think there's several other animals, but those are the biggest ones I can probably think of at the moment. But several animals have this regeneration of a lost limb in some kind of way over time. Sometimes as a defense mechanism or just kind of random. I'm thinking defense mechanism is some of the lizards, because if they lose their tails, they can shed their tails and then get away from their predator that's after them, as distracts the predator, and then the lizard can run away and stuff like that. Different things. But if and when, because it could be possible, who knows, if humans can regain their limbs and regenerate over time. I will admit, okay, so I don't know too much scientifically how it works. I'm pretty sure it has something about cells that have to rebuild themselves, so that could be wrong. Tissue, stuff like that. Obviously, blood flow, even. There's probably a lot of scientific stuff behind it that I actually do not know, or it's been a long time since I've been in a science class to even think about it. But when I was having this conversation, which it was, by the way, I haven't mentioned, was with not a direct coworker I work with in my department, but a friend outside my department who works in a different one. And it was just a random topic we were having, and he was talking about it. He asked me more or less, what if humans regain a lost limb? Like, we lose an arm, grow it back, leg, whatever. Didn't necessarily say head. That might be a difficult one. But if you think about it, and what this could mean, medically advanced, if we have an infection that eventually takes over whatever limb and kills it, and makes it to where we have to cut off a limb to survive or slash um, stop the infection. Like how most people, well, they get a bad infection in their arm or leg, cut it off, and hopefully that gives them a little more time to live or fight off the infection completely. We're not talking like zombie bite or anything, but yeah, think about that. But over time, whether It will be minutes, hours, days, whatever. We regrow that whole limb back. What does that mean medically advanced? Well, and this is where it gets complicated, is this is how I see it. So, one of the things I told this coworker friend of mine, not direct coworker, but friend, you think of cancer research, you think of like cancer groups and fundraisers, stuff like that. Yes, they claim to be fighting, and I understand they probably are, to find a cure for cancer, find a cure for diabetes, and stuff like that. And all good, whatnot. Those foundations make a lot of money sometimes, or they say sometimes nonprofit. But ideally, if you found the cure for cancer, for everything that's afflicting everybody as of right now, you no longer need those foundations. You no longer give support to them. They lose money. They're not needed. So that makes people lose their jobs. That means it doesn't exist anymore. Which I will say, if you find a cure for cancer and you get rid of them, then they don't want that. As much as it ideally they say, okay, cure cancer. I mean, it might eventually happen one day, yes, but I'm saying all of those foundations, all of those fundraising places and charities, that was the word I was looking for. They are losing so much money and support just if you find a cure for cancer and it stops. So what happens if we grow back a limb that we lose? We no longer need doctors. Maybe. It could be more complicated than that. But think about it. You realize you have an infection in your arm or leg. If you can make yourself cut it off, you potentially keep yourself from dying. Maybe. That infection could come back. Probably, if it's within the blood, depending on where it came from, maybe. I don't know. It's a complicated sort of thing. But I see it as I was telling him, there will be no need for doctors anymore. You won't need specialists. You're not paying them. They lose their jobs, and why do you need them now? Because obviously now you could have this miracle regrowth of limbs if we can regrow our limbs. And on top of that, on a different conversation in the same conversation. So now we had this sort of immortality thing going on almost. Maybe it's not completely. But if you cut away the thing that is making you sick, that is killing you, you won't die. You'll live longer. And that also brings a problem of people who make money, unfortunately. I say, as you die, who had the job to make sure your funeral or cremation or whatever goes, you go out in a way that you're going to be remembered or done right. And if we have people living longer, more or less. We're going to have more of an overpopulation issue if you have more kids. If you live longer than you and you have nothing killing you, there's just going to be like several kind of problems. And it's kind of weird. And this is just coming from the idea if we can regenerate, in my opinion. But it can go in different ways. Like I said, there is the possibility, even if you cut away the infected, whatever, arm, leg, whatever, the infection can go somewhere else. And how many times is it going to take for you to regenerate before you die? Or the fact of, if you cut off your head, will you die? Kind of an important thing. How far does this limb regeneration go? I don't know. Because obviously we don't have to worry about it. Yes, an octopus, a lizard, they can lose an arm, they'll get it back, or, well, the octopus can lose an arm, it will get it back. Lizard will grow its tail back. Cut off the head, though, and they don't die. I don't think so, at least. Lizard, for sure, it will die. I can't say on the octopus. I'm gonna guess they die if you cut off the head. Snails, I feel like is one of those that are probably weird like that if you do cut the head off, it might not die. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. I could be completely wrong. But there's certain, like, species of, like, I don't think you can call a snail an insect, but I can't think of what the actual, animal grouping it's called. But snails and slugs, stuff like that are weird compared to, like, other animals. So, but how far does the limb regeneration go? I don't know. This is just a topic. It's kind of like a broad topic. But I'm saying, if we had limb regeneration, there's a chance that we lose the fact that we no longer probably need doctors or anything. We don't even need prosthetics. And prosthetics, being able to get a fake arm or fake leg, and that works kind of almost like a real arm or leg. I mean, it helps you move and write and all of that. Amazing technology. That's a thing, and they were trying to make it as much as realistic, and like you almost didn't lose the limb at all. That's amazing. But then we no longer have that if we have to deal with limb regeneration. Right? That's how I would see it. And those people invest a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of research to make that happen. And if you take or change that certain way, like curing cancer, all of that is gone. All of that is just blown out of the water. Some people are, like, people who are gonna be happy about this, of course. You don't have to worry about cancer ever killing somebody again. But there's gonna be those people who wished they could still have that fundraiser, that charity going, because now you have all these people who invested their lives in it who it no longer applies. And in a way that kind of sucks. Just saying. Like, especially if that's what you did all of your life. It's complicated. It really is. And that's why, as a topic, when I was kind of talking with them, it's like, man, that gets you thinking. And it's random conversations like that that I would love to come to Shad's voice with. And at this point, with this episode, we'll call it episode. This was a few months ago that I've actually had this conversation with him, I think. But I definitely told him I sort of do a vlogging type of thing, and I would talk about this. From what I remembered from that conversation with him and how I took it and what I'm thinking of now, here we are. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Human limb regeneration, and it might, like I said, might never happen. I don't think we're thinking about it. As far as I know, we're not thinking about it. We're not thinking about trying to regrow our limbs or anything. But it's something. Let me know your idea and thoughts and on this strange kind of topic. And like I said, there's creatures that have this ability of regeneration that we've studied and are fascinated with, and things of why it's used and stuff like that. But as human beings, we do not have this completely. Like, in a way, if you want to think about it, we have this, some ways of regenerating, just not completely whole missing limbs. Like, obviously, if we break a nail, our nails grow back. That's kind of regeneration. Lose hair, it can grow back, depending on the situation. Can be almost said for almost anything. I don't know, hair, nails. What else? That's kind of the big thing, that hair and nails. Things that grow and come back easily. And yeah, I think hair and nails is definitely probably the biggest one. Or there's something else I'm not thinking of right now. Skin. That's the big thing. We shed a lot of skin, but obviously we don't lose our actual whole protective skin that you and I could just like rub right now. We don't lose that. It would be awkward if we did. But skin is another thing. Blood. We don't technically run out. It keeps flowing until we die. But like regeneration is more like hair, skin, nails, that sort of thing. Oh yeah. Interesting topic, weird topic, but I love it. Hopefully it gets you thinking, especially what we could be capable of doing in medically in years to come. It's kind of hard to say. And let me know your thoughts. If you liked it, thank you for listening. I will see you in the next one. Bye.